We live in an era of built-in expiration dates. Your phone, your car, even the very screen you're staring at, they are all designed to die. But in a quiet fire station in Livermore, California, there is a small, hand-blown glass bulb that has been burning since 1901. It has outlived the Titanic, to world wars, and the very engineers who created it. It shouldn't be possible. Modern science tells us that heat eventually destroys everything. Entropy is the only law that never breaks, except here, it seems to have paused. While our modern, smart bulbs flicker out in a few thousand hours, this relic from the Victorian age has stayed lit for over 1 million hours. Is it a miracle of ancient engineering, or a haunting reminder of a secret we were forced to forget in 1924? A secret cartel of manufacturers decided that light bulbs were too good. They realized that a product that doesn't break is a business that doesn't grow. Today, we explore the Centennial, like the 120-year-old secret that proves we aren't just buying light, we are buying a programmed failure. In the natural world, there is a law called entropy. It dictates that order inevitably turns to chaos. Energy dissipates. Everything, eventually, breaks. But in the world of commerce, entropy was found to be too slow. To keep the gears of the economy turning, manufacturers had to invent a way to accelerate death. On Christmas Eve, 1924, in Geneva, the world's leading light bulb makers met in secret. They formed the Phoebus Cartel. Their mission was simple: force every light bulb to die after exactly 1,000 hours. If a bulb lasted longer, the manufacturer was fined. This was the birth of planned obsolescence, a deliberate engineering of failure. Science was no longer used to solve problems, but to create them. Yet, the Centennial Bulb missed the memo. Because it was handcrafted before the cartel existed, its physics remained pure. Its filament is 8 times thicker than a modern one. It operates at a lower temperature, whispering rather than screaming, preserving its soul through the decades. It stands as a silent witness to a time when we built things to last forever, rather than building them to be replaced. Why does this bulb survive while yours dies? The answer isn't magic. It's a fundamental choice in how we manage energy. Modern bulbs use tungsten filaments, pushed to their absolute thermal limit to produce the brightest, whitest light possible. They are built to scream. But intensity comes at a price. High heat causes atoms to evaporate off the filament, thinning it until it snaps. This is the death by light we accept as normal. The Centennial light whispers. It runs at a lower wattage, keeping its carbon atoms bonded tightly. It chooses longevity over brilliance. In our rush for efficiency, we've forgotten that durability is its own kind of intelligence. We traded the eternal for the immediate. Scientists have analyzed this bulb for decades. They found that its seal is perfect. No air has leaked in for 124 years. It is a time capsule of vacuum. It represents a fork in the road of human history. One path led to the throwaway culture of today. The other, well, we left that behind in 1901. If we could build a bulb that lasts a century back then, imagine what we are choosing not to build today. There is a dark irony in our progress. If every engineer designed products that lasted a century, the global economy would vanish. Growth requires consumption, and consumption requires a vacuum of space, left behind by things that have broken or died. We reached a point where the glitch is no longer an accident. It is a feature, the heartbeat of our financial systems. The Centennial Bulb is terrifying to see. It represents a dead end for profit, a sale that only happens once. We are trapped in a cycle where we destroy resources to create value. We build things we know will be trash. This bulb didn't just survive time, it survived an ideology, a ghost from a world where enough was a goal. We call this efficiency, but it looks like a fever, a rapid burning of potential for a temporary glow. In that 120-year-old vacuum, the bulb asks, is a world that lasts forever actually a world we can afford? We often see this bulb as a rebel, but nature has used this exact same strategy for billions of years. In biology, there is a process called apoptosis, programmed cell death. It is the natural version of the 1,000-hour limit. If our cells lived forever, our bodies would be choked by the damaged and the cancerous. Life requires death to move forward. The mystery of this light is a mirror of our own. We are built to fail because that is the only way a complex system evolves. The Centennial Bulb is like a cell that forgot how to die, a beautiful error, a static point in a moving universe. Science calls this the price of complexity. The more advanced a system becomes, the more critical its expiration date. When we stare at that 120-year-old light, we are looking at a version of existence that doesn't know how to let go. It reminds us that while immortality is a fascinating glitch, our own failure is what makes our light so bright. There is a silence that follows a lost technology, an information vacuum where we no longer know how we once succeeded. This bulb wasn't made by a machine. It was shaped by human breath and the intuition of a glassblower. Today, we optimize for average, not timelessness. We have perfected the average, but lost the exceptional. When we lost the secret of the 100-year bulb, we lost the belief that an object could be a lifelong companion. We traded deep knowledge of materials for the convenience of software. We no longer repair, we simply replace. But in the shadows, a repair revolution is growing. People are looking back at the Centennial light as a North Star. We are realizing that the most high-tech thing you can own is something that refuses to become obsolete. The ghost of 1901 is whispering, reminding us that the past might hold the keys to a sustainable future. If we zoom out far enough, the entire universe is just a giant light bulb that is slowly, inevitably, burning out. Cosmologists call it heat death, a state where energy is so spread out that no more work can be done, no more stars, no more light. In this context, the Centennial Bulb isn't just a piece of hardware. It is a tiny, glowing middle finger to the second law of thermodynamics. It has stayed in a state of ordered energy for over a century, while everything around it, the paint on the walls, the wood of the building, has decayed. It reminds us that longevity is a form of resistance. To last is to defy the natural urge of the universe to turn everything into nothing. Most of what we build today is designed to evaporate. We have accepted the heat death of our own culture because it's profitable. But the bulb proves that long-term is a choice. We can build things that endure. We can choose to create pockets of order that refuse to surrender to the dark. It is a small miracle of physics, suggesting that even in a universe destined to go cold, some lights simply refuse to quit. We measure our lives by what we accumulate and the speed at which we move through the world. But this glow from 1901 tells a different story. It suggests that the most profound success is simply endurance. In a world screaming for attention, there is power in staying lit, in refusing to be replaced by the new. We are taught that new is better, but when we build things to die, we lose a piece of our own history. It invites us to value the permanent over the disposable, to find beauty in things that refuse to break. We aren't just consumers in a marketplace. We are observers in a universe that is slowly cooling down. The most radical thing you can do is to be like the Centennial light, steady, unwavering, and built to last. Don't just burn bright, burn long. The secret isn't about a light bulb. It's about how you choose to exist